Did anybody get a chance to see ICT's lecture from August 6, 2024? Lecture number 2. People love this shit. They eat it up like you can't fucking believe. Some guy emailed me and said, "Are you still there?" "Yeah, I'm still here." I don't know, people, what do you want? So there's no magic about trading. I think it's about risking money. People are really pretty adverse to that. Typically, people are like, if I'm going to lose on that, I kind of want to go back to the drawing board. I want to get better skills. Now, nowhere on this chart does this. Now, this is the inner circle guy who is just amazing. 1.6 million views on this video, almost 2 million subscribers on YouTube. But it's like, I don't know if anybody's into politics, but the stuff people do to just be able to get viewers now, like this Candace Owens. I would say ICT is the Candace Owens of trading. It's like there's no punchline. He never says, well, I'm going to get in here with this, where he creates all these, we've seen these charts a million times. This is a 1 minute chart. 1 minute chart. Somebody asked me about the 1 minute chart. Sure. Do you have your finger on the fucking trigger? Are you willing to just go boom, 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 and you got the fucking, now you have to have a ticket. If you're going to trade one ticket, you better have your fucking target in that ticket, because the market's going to refresh that territory. It's going to go up, and the market's going up and down. Now, this guy, the guy in the inner circle, is saying, oh, I know what it's going to do. You know what it's going to do, but can you take advantage of what it's going to do? We've all sat there and go, yeah, that's probably going to come in so-called stop hunt. In other words, it's just going to fall into a price it hasn't seen in a while. So time's ticking by. And I made a chart, I made a template that takes care of that problem. Time's ticking by. This time block is, I guess this is 9 hours. This is 2 o'clock in the morning. So right here is London Open, this blue, this Dodger blue. And we go smashing down. How many times have we seen this? I mean, I just don't know why this guy has 500 fucking lectures to describe the most obvious fucking thing we've ever fucking seen in our fucking lives. This ICT guy, this schmaltz, this guy has going on the channel, and he's doing it for his children. You gotta listen to this shit, dude. The fact that he was this guy is like beyond fake. It's just it's cringe off a planet level, and they must be robots that have subscribed. I guess, I don't know. But here's the thing: people love this shit. Candace Owens has all these viewers. It's like flat Earth people. Really? Oh my god! Like, it could be. Yeah. Well, we've never seen it. I mean, can you tell it's round from where you're standing? No. Oh well. See, this is the gateway to fucking to stupidity. What in the fuck happened? So, before you go on to say, I'm jealous, no fucking way would I want to have the responsibility of keeping up persona of fakeness. I mean, how much pressure is that? He's got a picture on his page, on his YouTube channel, of him in, like, he's been through a war. It's like this black and white artsy fartsy picture. Where'd this guy come from? So I understand why the E-mini guy is totally after him, because he is just a great punching bag, because it's ridiculous, right? This guy's ridiculous. It's like fucking the people giving you the news. You think they believe that shit? Who besides, listen, can somebody please fucking explain to me why a guy makes I don't know, $60 million a year? Is he so fucking punched in, like he never punches out? Like every moment he's ready to go on the air and give you fucking bleeding news. How in the fuck are you making that much money? It's just, I guess, the territory, right? I guess if you're articulate. You never say fucking fuck you and the air, and you don't do anything like come in hammered. And they're like, oh, right there's worth $10 million a year. You didn't come in hammered this year. What the fuck is the checklist for that check? You got to wonder. But trading, now trading is a whole different territory, right? It is totally, I would say, there's no lies. It's the rawest fucking data, especially in forex. And this guy's poo-pooing forex like, yeah, well, the forex people, dude, you're a fucking moron. So, or you're just, I mean, I guess he's not a moron if you want to just make money from mentorships, and he's gonna, don't forget the Robinson. Talk about the Robinson, like, dude, like, do you think a real policeman's like, yeah, I'm gonna go kill me some people this week? Like, who does that? Like, if you know how to trade, or you know, you want to teach his kids how to trade, first teach them how to not be a fucking dick. How, like, do his kids, he's like, I'm doing these videos for my kids. You mean they got to listen to this fucking piling on how great you are? Wow. So, yeah. Anyways, let me get to my video. It's all about me anyways. But this is 2 o'clock in the morning, so I had to make this time frame for me because these are the most obvious fucking climax moments in the market. Is the market closes, or pretty much nothing fucking happens till about at least here in the euro, in most markets, 2 o'clock in the morning. Europe opens about 2-3 in the morning, whatever. The daylight savings time would fuck up this fucking beautiful filter, so you'd have to probably have one that's a daylight savings time bridge. If you really cared about it, but give or take an hour, it doesn't matter. There's a lot of drama. You can see them on the wicks here, and the ICT describes all these things in very pastoral. Like this is smooth highs, and dude, it's just support and resistance. Okay, they smooth highs. What the fuck are you talking about? You got a smooth brain, dude. But he's got this whole. This is a 10 pip grid, by the way. So this is just totally raw dog scalping. We're trying to make, and this is the other thing. How many points is this guy trying to make in the market? He's like, yeah, I'll lay into it really heavy if I think it's going to go up. What the fuck? At what point do you add to that position? He's got a 1 minute chart running. God knows where the fuck he gets in because he never says. Think about this practically. The guy that emailed me probably. I know the guy that emailed me. He's emailed me something, or was it maybe not him? And people want me to go on Discord and stuff, but honestly, I'm just too introverted for that. I just couldn't. And the people are like, oh, you just don't know how to navigate Discord. I don't think the guy that wrote it, I think he named it Discord for a reason, because it's the most disorganized fuck nuttery. There's shit on the left, there's shit on the right. You scroll down, it's not there. You got to refresh. You can't see it. I mean, what the fuck? Do I need a fucking 8K monitor to get all the fucking iconery, all the little tabs and all the little thing, the jewels and the thing with the. Who's got time for games, dude? Who the fuck has time for games? I'm like, I'm fucking with the market. I'm fucking with my trying to get to sleep. Fucking with the car, get the car tuned up. Who's got time for this shit? I'm playing a game. So everything else in your life is totally buttoned up, and you're going to sit down and play Call of Duty. Dude, I'm on Call of Duty every minute. I'm pissed off about this. I got the fucking varmints trying to break in the house, raccoons. I don't fucking have time for. Who's got time for that shit? I mean, what kind of like fantasy world? And I guess that's what happens. But now in the market, there is this. So I'm into the auction theory, the auction style trading, where you have a big sale. People are like, woohoo, man! Look at this. It's almost like a robbery, and you can see it on the chart. Now, I don't have every time frame blocked off. I had to stick to the most obvious shit in the world, which is 2 o'clock in the morning when most people are sleeping, and 9 p.m., a half hour before stocks open. The news has already come out. I guess you could say you could build time slots, and of course you could go off the rails on any kind of fucking theory. You could build one that has, and I thought about this too. Where we're just looking at 5 a.m. to 8:30 in the morning, because this is the, I'd say 5 a.m. to 8:30 in the morning is when there's a nice window there for people. They're queuing up for the news. 8:30 is fucking big ass news. It's either going to be jobs report, so, and 9:30 is the fucking stock market. So I could actually trim these out and be more precise. But then you want to run a half-hour chart because you're not going to see it spill into the next time window or break out of the range. And here you also know what kind of trade to do, because I'm doing limit orders or market orders, and I usually don't do stops, but I'm actually always, when I see a giant breakout of a big congestion, which is an obvious situation that happens eventually to most markets, look, they can only go sideways so long, and the tension builds up, right? The pressure builds up, and there's high drama at the highs. This is a 4-hour chart. This is euro dollar currently looking back. So I bought a pant load here, as you can imagine. Now, it wasn't easy because I thought this was the low. I'm a very bullish person. So I thought, I scalped a little bit here, but no, we're going down lower. These fuckers can't. And this is, I talked about this so long ago in a video, probably 5 fucking years ago. I call this the top inside the bottom. And this is a line chart on a 4-hour chart with a background of almost roughly 8-hour time windows there. I could have made it 8, but I try to be more precise here. 2 o'clock in the morning is when the drama. So here's 2 o'clock in the morning, not much drama, but then 9 p.m. And this, like I said, this is the window, the 5 a.m. window, when you dip below the floor. And this is the buying opportunity and tempo window. Now you could scalp that wick right away, and you could hold for an engulfment of it coming back and taking out the block here and then going the other way. So you can trade bookends, right? You'd buy here and sell there. I mean, if that's not the clearest fucking shit in the world, and you really need ICT, because people just love to hear this guy pontificate about bullshit. It's just incredible. Like here, here's my kind of trade. Now, I'm not saying the breakout doesn't work sometimes, but if I put buy limits in here and we take out the low of Asia and we nick the low of the previous day, and then we rip into fair value, which is the middle of this box. We call it the middle of the box, fair value, and the top tick Tommy's up here. So unless we bought this box, now which box do you want to buy? I could buy this box here. In other words, I could buy that wick and dump into here. How thin do you want to slice it, right? Because I have to get out here. And then we pick up this top tick Tommy these and bottom tick Bobby that. We could still make it back to fair value before it crushes and really does break out. But you have to have really good ratios, and you have to really have tightish stops, because what's going to happen is, I lost my delete all things here. Delete all objects. Thank you for coming. Okay, so 15-minute chart. See the drama here? This is the top tick Tommy's. It's just 2 a.m. Now it's 3 a.m. Smash down. I'm getting in heavy here, right? So I'm just getting in on limits. I don't know where it's going to turn around. See the first bounce, the first bounce you had to maybe take 5 pips here. This guy that's emailing me, I know what he's talking about, but you got to be able to take, you can't have really greedy targets unless you have a big account and you're trading teeny tiny. Here's the ultimate entry, but I can't count on that, so I'm going to start buying from here down again. I have to dump everything into the previous floor. This is the Asian session. Cash out, or you go short, because bottoms become tops, right? And then come down again for another punishing run. I load the wagon. I'm holding. I wish the market would stay open over the weekend. It looks like it's stepping out here. It's going to go after this fair value. Now, if it does engulf, it's going to go auction to the other side now. And if you look at the 4-hour chart, you're like, well, yeah, certainly the next place to go here. And if you held long enough, you could say, well, this is accumulation under the floor. It's going to jump the creek, right? This is the creek up here because that gap, it just fell so hard through the floor. But when you bought everything below here, you never even made it to here to dump. So you never made it back. It made it to this floor, right? This is the floor it really took out. And you were able to cash out. So this is the trade that I'm doing. You buy here, irregardless what time it is, whether the market's so it doesn't matter. This is always going to be the best fucking place to buy. And the top under the bottom is the line chart. This top here, if you go forward, if that thing could keep taking out this chart, it would just really fall apart down there. And look how much wick action is on this 1-hour chart up here. Same like this, right when the this opening here, man, look at that thing wick up, and this is 2 o'clock in the morning, and then smash down, wick up again. These are all sells. If you're running a 10 pip stop, you could hold that and make 20, 30, right, pips. If you held long enough, now people that are getting in, that are saying, well, I just get in here, right? Just sell every but how big is the trade? Where's your stop? All that. And are you going to trade the other direction too? Do you know when it's time to cash out? Do you know when the ride's over? Look at this. This is so wicked. This is such a pound down. Well, why? Well, look left because the vacuum leaves the clue. There is nobody fucking like this shit. Once you fill like this, look at this double bottom under this floor gap. Man, the reaction to that is actually overcomes this low, comes rushing back. Unbelievable. It is really astounding. Now, on the daily, just trying to make 30 pips here. I'm going to start cashing out here. I'm going to cash out to that. But the other thing is that if I go to the 1-hour chart and we just end up here taking out this thing going into Monday, I'll probably start putting in buy limits trailing underneath that last a half hour, 1 hour. So I'll start to trail the buy limit beneath that. Let's just run the strategy tester to see what this looks like in somewhat we don't know what's going to happen mode. I'm just going to use the trusty moving average robot. The spread's fixed at 2, which this broker runs 2. Too hard. No, even when the news comes out, we're still at 2, so you can trade the news here. Or you just need a broker that has that ability. Now, we're going back to 2000, not very far back, actually. Let's go back further to when Hector was a puppy. What happened to the flat earthers? Well, they found themselves in other shit. 2023, April. I'm going to put my template on here. So this is the filter, the lens that we use to look through the market. I'm on a 30-minute chart. So what do? Well, we probably would be long right now because we bought everything below here. We're just kind of like, it's always painful to ride this drawdown. But hopefully we took off some tickets here. So we're up on something. At least, like I said, it's all about the target, 10 to 20 pips. Let me get rid of this stuff. 10 to 20 pips is the preferred. 10 to 20, 30, right, 40. We don't always get it, and 80% of the market sideways. Like here's one that we could have had pendings running on the clock. we drop a rack of 12-hour tickets here, we would have got filled. This is about, well, all day actually, right? Just all day. This is the whole fucking day from here to here. And you would have got filled and cashed out. And look how it came flying back to the floor, right? It took out these 2 8-hour blocks, came ripping back. This is the trade that seems to happen a lot, right? How many times have we seen it? It's just how long can you wait to get paid? You bought everything below this European session. The market crashes down into the thing, and you cash out the whole fucking thing when it comes all the way back to here, right? How many fucking times have we seen it? Can you mentally handle? And this is the hard part. If you're going to buy every 10 pips in a linear grid, never martingale in. Okay, how much money are we talking about here? I just don't get it. You're telling people that the risk, yeah, how much you buy in 1Ks here? Okay, so you're in 40K. You got 100 pips stop. You never got stopped out of any of those tickets. Comes all the way back. This ticket, you're going to make 10 pips, this 20 pips, right? If a hard stop down there, and if you back test that theory, you'll see, yes, that does make money. Now it looks like I'm holding this. I'm getting ready to cash out. But now I'm going to run buy limits trailing behind. So what I'm saying is, it's the platform that's you're able to do. You can't do this. I guess you can do this in NASDAQ in an MT4 platform. I could do it. And so I wanted to build a robot that would do this, but I don't know. It seems like I don't know. I don't think a robot could really. The checklist is too big, maybe. So I see that we come to the floor here now. This is most people are cashing out there. You can see this probably pull back off of that. Yeah, that's people cashing out. I'm playing back every tick on a 30-minute chart. So you can run this thing on your laptop, on your tablet, and just run it all the time. Run strategy tests and get used to trade. Get used to the idea that you're going to have to go into a drawdown to swing trade. Now, if you're going to scalp it, if you're going to say, well, I'm just going to come up here, I'm going to babysit this thing, I'm going to stalk this thing. As soon as it top ticks Tommy, Asian session, 2 a.m. comes, I'm going to sell everything with tight stop. I'll just wait till it takes out the low of the previous day. Yes. And you'd be right. And then you could say, well, I'm going to keep holding. I don't know what's to the left of us. But you might say, oh, well, dude, it's probably not going to turn around till it hits the last known structure, the last known pivot right here. This was a big deal, right? This is when a top became a bottom. Oh, hits this top inside the bottom. This is also another. I'm not on the 4-hour chart, but you see, this is the it would be, and then that's the high probability scalp. And now I'm out. Now I could go flat. Now this is all about building an account, right? You're trying to make money. And you have to do a lot of trading to make money. The ICT guy, the problem here with the ICT guys, he talks like, yeah, I'm going to teach them how to go hunt black bears. Dude, you got to, it's just so silly. Yeah, I don't want my kids to, I want them to make nice money and not rely on daddy buying them shit. What the fuck are you, what in the fuck is this hillbilly? So here, we would have bought that, right? Or we're still holding. Now think about this. You can kind of see what's probably going to, this is going to attempt to take out the high of the previous. This is the way I look at it. Oh, it looks like we're going to take out the high. But before we get there, or maybe this bottom is a top, and then we're going to keep going down. Either this is the big pivot, right? We're either going to keep tanking from here, or we're going up. Let me see my speed up a little bit. But yeah, so I wanted to show this to people that want a system that's really stupid. There's no moving averages. It's pure structure trading. It's pure, I call it vacuum trading, a price vacuum. Like when you have one of these losers like, I don't know, you've seen this MTG girl. She's supposedly Republican. So Trump tells her, yeah, you're a total loser. And she's like, well, I guess I'm really a liberal, so I got to go. Yeah. I mean, God, man, just fold like a. So here we go. Now we're cutting through the shit here, and I'm ready to cash out of more of my tickets, and the sellers are ready to come in. Right? We can see this, but we run this demo and train ourselves to feel like you're in this trade. You have to get like if you're going to trade the way I'm trading, which I think anybody's trading, is it get used to like okay, I got stopped out of that trade. I'll just do another trade. Like you cannot dial it into, well, this is my path. If it doesn't work out like that, well, I'm just going to quit. I mean, she's just a quitter. You know, it's so funny. She made $25 million trading the market. I don't think she traded the market. See, I don't think she was hitting a mouse. Now, right now, I'm thinking about cashing out of some of my stuff. Now, it all depends on how big I was in that trade, because right now I'm like, dude, unload the rest. And we still got, and we can see that 2 o'clock in the morning's coming. So maybe we could hold this until 2 a.m. and then dump the whole thing. Or we are flat, and what we're going to do is start buying. And this is just discretion. I mean, this is like a choice that you make based on how big do you want to be in the market. So right now I could put in buy limits that are 2 pips deep. Now, I typically will do this. If I aggressively buy in limits, it'll be 15 minutes expirations, 2 to 10 pips deep. Then I have another layer, half hour, starts at about maybe 8 pips deep. Different ones, right? So I can see, oh, I got to put some thick tickets in here. That's a 30-minute chart. I'm waiting to get filled here. I'm expecting the top become a bottom. If I just dial into the minutiae here, because we can see the big picture. We can see now that's the fucking borderline. The time is ticking. It just reminds me of Mr. Freeze. I don't know if you've ever seen Batman, Mr. Freeze. They got these cells. Let me delete the objects. Unfortunately, got to bring up this navigator just to do that. But here we are. Let me scoosh it over as small as I can get, because I want to do it a few times. Oh, well, we got to reload the template now, because we're playing back the market. We lost the filter. Okay, so the template's back on there. Nice and crude, actually, template sessions. So now it is backing off, right? It was good to dump everything. And it made it back to the fucking floor, right? Right there, almost to the pip, right? A lot of people weren't going to wait for the whole thing, right? They're going to get the hell out. So this price action's pretty obvious, isn't it? I think this is so obvious, but oh well. Now, you could be a new seller here, but I don't think so. You know, this is kind of, I'd rather be trying to buy for a lunge and it's going to take out the high of the previous day. Or we buy here at the market, big with a scalp, and get back on the, because this is a trend trade now. It's a half-hour chart. This is the pullback. Let me speed it up. It's way too slow for me. It's bad enough I got to watch that shit real. We're just going to go as fast as it'll go. Okay, so this way we could just say, you know what? There's nothing left on the table here for me. I don't want to chase it. Let's buy in limits really deep. So let's put some limits in below Asia. Let's put in limits here. I don't know if news is coming out. I really don't know what's going on here. Great place to buy. Here's another great place to buy more. Now, these would be real long expirations. And, you know, hey, look at it. It's going to auction. It just took out the high day. So if you would have bought here and held the whole fucking trade. Now, this is another thing. Do you buy and let it go? Okay, everybody's cashing out here. Big sellers here. Big sellers. That's pull back. Pull back. Now I put in the buy limits. So it's constantly changing. Like, oh, yeah, it looks like it's a real breakout maybe, but maybe it pulls back to here. I'm willing to scalp a bounce into fair value. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's just how big are these tickets, right? Let's zoom out so it's very, we can see the big picture now, right? So that was that. Big sellers here. I'm going to put in buy limits to capture a plunge right here. I'm going to start to stack them in just like this. There's really no magic to this. I like this one. I've already made money. Now I'm sitting. Now I got more money to risk because I can just have tickets, maybe not that deep, but they would be like this. Now that is the next session. Now that's end of the day. Not much. The U.S. market wasn't very compelling. Now I'm going to put sell limits above because I think, oh, you know what? Looks like they're going to take it higher. Let's sell into it now. I do feel like selling into it, and I would sell right there. A lot of people did sell right there. Very top tick Tommy off of this U.S. session. But then I just got filled on my buy limits. Did you see that? So I know it's hard to believe, but I'd be buying that, right? And I'm buying everything down too. All this is all my buys. Sitting there 8 hours, 4 hours, whatever. Hoping I get filled so that we can lunge up. No, I'm getting filled on the sells instead. So big sells up here. Oh my God, this is probably the news. Cashing out. Now they're all laid in here. Don't forget, I got a 10 pip winner. I got a 20 pip winner, a 30 pip winner. I got ones that haven't filled yet. More sells. I'm still holding the swing trades though. So maybe there's 300K getting filled up here. We have to have 2Ks, 3Ks in there. Scalped out of stuff. U.S. Now that's 9 o'clock. They just opened U.S. markets. Wow, pretty insane, right? Selling still. Oh my God! But look how the structure here. The one thing I noticed about forex when I first saw it, I go, look how the bid goes all the way back here. A constant reference of how it's bouncing off of that structure. How do you need ICT? What in the fuck are people's brains mush? Now we're holding this short, and this is the hardest trade if you're a swing trader. I'm selling more up here. In fact, when U.S., I expected to take out the high of the previous day, about 10 to 20 pips here. I will sell more. So it's very hard. It's just a real, it's a swing trade that's the top. It's as hard as buying too much on a plunge. Once again, I'm short. Now I'm scalping. I just took my 10 pip. I'm about to take my 20, I hope, here. And the swing trades are going to have to, I'm really going to have to dump the whole thing when we come back to the starting gate, which is here. This is the big breakout point. Yeah, let's do this. So, okay, now I'm selling more. I only made 20 pips on that pullback, see? See? I said 20 pips here I only made. Not too great, right? Not the best. Yeah, so we made 20 pips on those pullbacks. Now we're really short. We martingaled in. We sold just, oh my God, gobs here. This is Asia. I mean, this is Europe session. It's a different color because I put a box up in here. Now we sell more. Right at 2 a.m., we sell even more than we've ever sold. This is a swing trade. And now we're selling more. No, you only made 20 pips here. You only made 20 pips here. This is a very costly swing trade. In this, like I said, this is the only way. Now you have to have your 20 pip winners in here if you're going to sell into this, which that's the smart money, believe it or not. I know, like I said, it's very hard. Nobody is really prepared to take a loss psychologically. Here's the so this whole day we are up like, I don't know, like 80 pips here. Look at that beautiful trend trade though. If you're going to jump on you're going to chase that, you'd be buying this pullback, get the fuck out, take your 50, buy this pullback, get out. Now this, if you're buying into it, I wouldn't be. I'd feel like I was chasing that. I mean, yeah, I guess that's a good that's a setup that people talk about trading. Wait for that 10, 20 pip pullback, buy. I buy every pullback here, buy, and then dump. But for a swing trader, it's always going to be yeah, we're selling up into unbelievable territory so that when it comes all the way back to here, now you'd be holding this for days. The swing trade, but big wide stops. This is a 10 pip grid. And if you're martingaling in, by the time you're up at the top of this thing, you can just imagine how much money, if this thing collapses and comes back to planet Earth. And now when you start buying these pullbacks, you're kind of getting killed. Now, you're a little late to the trend, aren't you? You're starting to go, oh, yeah, it's amazing. Look at this triangle. Yeah, what a great trade. Oh, yeah, I'm a trend trader. Like, here's a triangle, breakout, perfect setup. You make your 30 pips. But then you're like, wait a minute. Whoa, wait. Hey, Joe, my neighbor, he said he was long the euro. He got long here. He bought here. He bought here. He bought this breakout of this triangle. Perfect setup. Oh, man. And I bought here, and I'm like, and then I said, look at this pullback. I'll buy this pullback here. Look at this trend line. Oh, yeah, but, getting killed. I don't know what happened. Joe, he sold his car. He said, that trade, well, I kind of got a little, chased it a little bit. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm not trend trader. So the swing traders now are going, thank Jesus for swings, right? If you martingaled into that, no, when you watch that go up, you are thinking, dude, the biggest loser. You are underwater. Like, depending on how big you load into that. But if you martingaled into that, you can see, and look at this, even the breakout traders, the tight box up here. Look at that. Asia and Europe are just like, I guess we kind of ran out of air. Whoopsie daisy. Big cash out. Now I start buying like a horror in here. I just bought this. I probably dumped the whole thing because of that. That's trade's over. For that, I would say if I lost this many pips, because I'm expecting that to happen to here, it doesn't, and I just go full retard into that, dude, that's the trade. See what I'm saying? Now, that's order and balance. You want to call it whatever that, rebalance, equalization, wait up to the vacuum, we satisfy the, endless metaphors, endless explanations for what's going on. Stop hunt, the dick hunt. So, yeah, look at this. Finally makes it back to the premium buy, which is all the way back to the starting gate. Now, you'll have to wonder when you see shit like that, and that was a random start. I swear to God, I just started anywhere in time. Anywhere in time, look at the fucking market. What's going on? Why? Yeah, because it has to fucking fill that void and then come back. So look at this crazy shit, right? What do we got here? In the end, even a breakout trader, though. So a breakout trader that put sell stops here, buy stops here. Yeah, okay. Every time it's small range, you could put a buy stop here and a sell stop there. That is true. That's true. But you got to know when to get out. This is different. The buy stop, sell stop. Maybe you got a trip there, but look at that. Nice clean breakup, but you still got to get out. Here, if this, I'm assuming a hedge system where you just because of volatility, you put a buy and sell stop. Doesn't matter whether, like here, sell stop, buy stop. You got plenty of time of nothing going on. Put a buy stop and a sell stop. Yes, that is beginner logic. Breaks out, but you got to know when to get out because we're coming all the way back to the floor. We're going to blow you out. We're going to go, right? This is going to wrap around and destroy your brain of thinking, oh, he's just going to keep tanking. Look at this thing. So I'm buying into here, heavy into fair value now. Right here, big buys, big buy. Look how, if you held all the way to your, remember when you got in here and you're like, oh, fuck. If you would have held this ticket, and I've done it with accounts with no stops before, and you're like, yeah, this is actually turning into a fucking winner. Are you fucking kidding me? What in the fuck is going on? It's total auction. The only thing I can explain it is auction. A total order imbalance beyond anything you can imagine. Right? You were down here. Remember everybody got in here? Look at this. This is just unbelievable. So nobody's really ready for this. I don't think people it's just not. Like, you actually are up 20 pips on this fucking trade. If you started selling the first I guess you'd have to call it a fake breakout, right? But that took you 3 days to get paid. I said 5. But now I just started buying here, and I'm like, holy shit, I'm taking a new drawdown. And I bought a ton. I bought a ton below that. I'm like, dude, if it takes it back to here, another martingale situation. But now we only have to make it to here and not cash out. And maybe the volatility dries up, starts banging around. So every day's a different IQ test. But here's the key. Where's your target? Now, if you were only looking to make 50 pips as your max, then you're not going to be the guy that's like, oh, I got in here. Okay, you got your 50, but you're not going to get this to here. Yeah, I know people can say, well, look at where it went. Yeah, but did you fucking ride it down there? And how did you get in? Did you really ride it down there? How did you get in? Here, I know exactly what I've done. Now I'm going to cash out to the floor. I've actually cashed out of at least my 10, my 20, my 30, 40, 50. The trade's over for me. Now come in with limits again. Buy limits. Why? Because what if it comes down? So I have all those kind of abilities, flexibility of orders. It's already got a target. It's already got a fucking stop. I know when it's going to get crushed. I know when it's going to get blown out. I'm going through many tickets. The market's constantly up and down. It's called price action, I guess they're calling it. The kids are calling it. But it's just moving around. It's volatile. It's incoherent. It doesn't make any sense, and people want to constantly try to smooth it out with moving averages and stuff. It's just never going to work. This is a raw chart here. So it's just, I can still see the structure here. I just like that. I like that filter for people, for myself, because I don't know what fucking time it is. I'm looking at, like, oh, look at that. It's like a triangle. So I see patterns too. I can notice a spider on the wall. Like if I see a spider at the corner of my eye, I'm like, this is a fucking spider. That pattern is so like, nothing. I mean, sometimes a piece of lint looks like that. I'm thinking, holy shit. Thank God it's just some torn fabric. It's not a real threat. So I have to reload the template. Oh, they're not gonna let me load the template. Oh, I'm stuck in this fucking drawing mode here. Yeah, what are they trying to do to me? ICT knows I'm filming the secret stuff. So we just closed out. Now this is another breakout right here. You could have done here. But once again, all you've really done here is you're just smashing around, right? So if you're a heavy buyer below here, you cashed out, you're slightly up. I would get out. Now I want to buy below here. I want to buy in this box, and I want to sell above here. It's just obvious. And now I'm ready to buy here, just for the nonsense kind of thing that can happen. So I'll trade nonsense, noise, I guess they call it. I'm always curious to see, am I going to get filled on my tickets? Was I right about that? Did I put in the right amount of tickets? And then the expiration's key, because if this expires, if I have a bunch of tickets in here that expire in at the end of the day, then I got to have tickets here, right? More tickets here in this box. But I definitely want to buy in here. This is the slot. So here, this 10 pip window, this is fat orders here. Big tickets. It's kind of moving. I drew on top of the graphics, but you can see it here. Top tick Tommy just went a half a pip here. So I'm buying all this. If I'm sleeping, so this is about 6 in the morning there. That's the 6 in the morning, kind of like you can make 10 pips maybe coming back off of that. Right, so here, look at it. Just like a quarter pip there, and now you just made 10 to 20 pips. Buying here, back to the breakout point, and you're waiting to take this out. You want to have an auction where it takes out the high of the day, right? So you really wanted to load up here, 6 a.m. Now here comes the news. Now stock's just open. We're looking to go after this, right? That's a big juicy target. And we could also come flying back here because we just took out the high of Europe. Now the sellers come in. We can come in with buy limits now. So it's just back and forth, back and forth. And, you know, people got on me. They got all pissed off when I started to make fun of depth of market. Well, you know, they'd have all these tickets in the market. I could see all these orders. Well, I can see mine. I can see all my tickets in depth of market. In fact, I was kind of excited about it. I guess if you're a depth of market guy, man, you probably want to do this. And I know people are trained on stuff, so, you know, when you're trained on, you know, missionary position, you probably, that's what you think sex is, you know. It's like, honey, like, bark like a dog. Everybody has a different style. I get it, you know. I'm not stupid. Well, I am. I'm a simpleton, so I made a comment. And so I couldn't resist. I made some comment on some political thing, and people, you really are a simpleton. I'm like, gotcha. And this way nobody asks me any questions. About to break out the session here. Well, we haven't finished. So there's 2 o'clock in the morning. The market's getting kind of quiet here. It's kind of getting a little bit like, oof. Now here's where, at some point, I think we could raid this area. And I'd say raid, it would just be complete insanity because we've been going sideways for so long. And this is the other raid zone. Pent up supply, demand, whatever you want to call it. Order, you know. I'll leave a gap there, put a shelf there. But yeah, it's curious. I think either way. Now this is a trade for me right now. I want to start putting buy limits in here. Kind of waiting for the thing to happen. So the depth of market to me is all my tickets, and get a vertical screen, right? If you're a depth of market guy, get a vertical monitor, and you can see all that fucking. Oh yeah, there's Joe's tickets. Well, that's my ticket. So I'm getting filled right now on buy limits. Cashing out of something here. Now the thing is, how many tickets did I have in that? I was still waiting for the opening of U.S. So there you go. Stocks are opening. It's crazy time. A lot of people bought. See the trade. See the obvious auction. You bought here and you sold here. In other words, bookends, fake breakout traps. Now it looks like it could go up here, but then again, I'm willing to buy here on limits into the close. It doesn't look like it's going up now. It looks like they trapped the, this is a fake breakout here. So it looks like coming down a little bit. And maybe it takes out, so this is kind of dicey stuff. You're not making a lot of pips on these days. And, yeah, it's kind of dead. Especially if that violence, that's kind of like everybody's hashed, the price has been picked over. Coming up on the close of this window, this time session, or just opening. So here's Asia. I got my buy limits down here pending still. Oh, jeez, okay. Let me stretch this out to get more depth of market. Yeah, depth of market. Yeah, my tickets. Those are my tickets flashing. Not some goober. Well, Joe's got this guy, you know, hey, there's a Bear Stearns has tickets now. Who doesn't? Can't we figure this game out? Look at that, was a nice buy there. We just trapped the breakout traders that were trading the breakout of a breakdown here. So you made 10, 20 pips on that if you bought into this 10 pip plunged fake breakout there. Very subtle. Hey, trade big enough, you know, it's a lot of money. You just got to trade big, that's all. These are high probability situations. Now we're looking to go fucking nuts up, but like I said, put the sell banks in here, starting with this, and big sells up there for the rip back. Now to me, it's just going to be rip this way, rip that way, rip. It's just complete bullshit. Trap trading. And people are probably look at somebody just made 30 pips off of selling the top tick Tommy of that shit. Now tell me that's not a great trade. You just made how many? But see, I bought that plunge, right? I bought that plunge. That guy sold the top. There's plenty of money for everyone, people. I used to think, I really did. I mean, this is the very first time that I really took a serious, and I mean, I was serious as a heart. It's very too serious, actually. People say I'm a dick. Yeah, this is too serious. Fucking books, charts. And one day I bought I thought, yeah, what I'll do is I'll just go. I went to the what is it called? Hobby Lobby or some shit. And I bought this artistic drafting board table. I'm going to print out these things. I had dot matrix, Epson dot matrix, a 24 pin print head. Get some nice fucking paper. What is it, 20-pound paper? Put it in there. Print out the corn charts. Now, that was trading futures back then. So I printed out the daily chart, and I had on my ruler, and I had a pencil behind my ear, and I said, I'm going to figure this out. I look at the chart, and I said, is there a place to get in on this chart? Is there anywhere you can see that if I got in here, this would be a great trade, and I could repeat this system, approach, setup, every time the same, and be a consistent trader? And I was like, no. I looked at it, it was like a Rubik's Cube. I looked at a Rubik's Cube, and I said, early on, I said, I don't care to figure that out. Like, you twisting this cube around doesn't impress me. So do you see that sell there? Somebody just made quite a bit of pips on that. But see, they realized it's over because Jimmy took over. I bought more. So I bought, look at that. I just nixed the Asian session there. We nicked the wick. We fake breakout. Why ICT hasn't, why he's not on MT4, I can't figure it out. Why does the guy want to work so hard with that bullshit fucking, what are you using? What do people call it? Oh God, I don't know what it's called. Market Watch. I don't know what the hell it's called. Oh, I just got filled on those cells up there. Do you see that? So that's my big sell window. We're making those 10, 20 pips. Now we're going to sell more. We're going to sell more. Good. 10. Okay, now this is U.S. markets. The news is out. Uh-oh. I think we got to come back all the way to here now. Maybe not. Maybe it keeps going, but that's okay because I sell more up there all the way. Look how just structurally sound that is. All the way back to where it broke out. What? This is the bottom inside the top. Look at that. Oh my God, what's the chance of that? But now you have to wait out that whole see the whole cycle is. So if you sold here thinking, oh, it's going to go to hell, and you were right for a while until other people took it. So I'm selling into that. I'm selling again. Or I could have held that whole thing. The place to jump, here's the creek that you jumped. Right here. Because look at that thing go. Oh my God. How many what kind of sellers are up here? Oh, wow. Sometimes you never make it there. Look at it. Within 10 pips, you're already up 20 on selling into that. I would buy here now. I love buying. I just love it. I like going shopping, going to the store. So this is another thing. I just can't get around it. Like I think, yeah, with some euro here, just come into my limits, please. Fill me. Oh, beautiful. I double click that shit while I'm driving the car and take a 1 hour trip and just half hour, 1 hour. It's got the hotspot running right now. Of course, I'm usually not at 2 o'clock in the morning driving, but look at that beautiful fill. Oh, this is effortless shit. These are effortless bullshit trades, dude. It's coming down again. Coming down again, I'll buy some more. All right, give me some of that. Now, if you're still short from the top of that, you're going, oh, yeah, I got you. And here's fair value. Walking all the way back. This is a half-hour chart. Half-hour chart with nearly 8-hour blocks. We have 2 a.m., 9 a.m. Here comes stocks open. Ooh, a little bit lower. They always bid it down into the stock market opening. I'm buying that. I'm buying that like you can't believe. Oh, my God. Probably news at 10 coming out now. Buy. If you're still short from the top of that, are you a genius or what? Oh, my God, I'm buying that so bad. I can't believe how hard they take it down. Look how hard they took that down. Oh, my God. Get a load of that. So look, it never made it up to that. There was no fear in selling into that. How much money did you make selling into that? So now I'm buying this. You probably take out the U.S. session after this closes. Probably go down a little bit lower. But this is, see all those wicks? Oh my God! Look how frantic that is. Yeah, because of this, right? Oh my God! Just by like, that is just incredible. Like a half a pip down here. So now we're holding. We have to scalp to here now. I got a little carried away buying that. We got to scalp it back to this double bottom. Double bottom in the, so we definitely have the scalp out of something there. Wow. But see the frantic wick action here? Now it could still keep tanking. There is a chance. But now here comes London. And people want to close that gap back to here. And you're out. So I would be out of that. Because, wow. But see the drama here? I just don't know why the no-nonsense forex guy has not played back a 1 minute, a 1 period moving average on top of the session, the concept of the markets in sessions. Look at that. Oh my God. Look at that. Look at that shit. Are you serious? So it's almost like the market's just hell-bent on just going up and down. Crashing into these supply and demand zones. Now, if it ever takes this out, it's going to be the biggest sell in the world, right? If it takes out that high up there, we never made it to that supply-demand zone. But you can only imagine, right? That song, right? You can only imagine. Yeah, ICT. What a joke. Oh, my God, that guy. I put him on. I was cringing so bad. I thought, he's really lost his fucking mind. He's like one of those influencers that's, like I said, it's like Candace Owens. Rabbit holes, 500 rabbit holes, no rabbits. It's just, look at this. See this price action? That is a huge accumulation or sell. Now, look at that. People are fighting over that price. Oh, selling. I'm selling like crazy now. Oh, I'm getting auto-filled here. Oh, look at that. Big thing and a breakout. Now we're cashing out. We just made 20, 30, 40 pips. Now I want to buy. I mean, I traded this news like this all day. You want to buy here now? But look at that beautiful scalp. High probability trades, honestly. Now, the size that you trade is going to matter if you make money or not. Now we'll start buying here. But you see how frantic that is? You see how insane that is? And what's going on there is that if you happen to be trading on a day like that, wait, I'm trying to trade. Can't change the time frame here on the playback. That's why with this background, you can always keep context of the time the session that we're in. Okay, U.S. markets just closed. So I'd probably be out of that thing. And now I'm thinking, you know what? Let's buy in limits again. Because the next fertile area is this all over again. I know. And so my racks are running. My tickets run maybe 40 pips deep. When I double click, 2 hours, 4 hours, 3 hour banks. And then those are different styles, right? So some are scalps, some are swings. And just writing all the scripts. And this is what it's a manual script launching system. Now, to have a robot think, oh, well, look at this vacuum. Let me throw fucking 40 pip grids out there. Yeah, I guess if I said it a million times, I do have a robot that'll do that, and it makes quite a bit of money. But it's from Canada, it loses money. And what I'd have to have is like 10 of those robots that only do a specific range for the most. It seems to be profitable like that. But the biggest trades, of course, are the ones like this, where if you watch the playback equity of your robot, you'll notice that stuff like this, if you don't have it just right, the robot says, oh, I see a vacuum, let's buy this. If it oversizes that, it'll never see this. This is the auction of taking this out and wrapping around all the way to the top and finally closing out that whole trade. So me making money on this trade is about Look at that. Oh, I just bought that. I just know I did. I could see my trade a million times on these. So I'm rehearsing. Every time I see that, I go, yeah, trust and believe. And now here would be, I know they're going to open up the market, or I just have the orders there all day long. 12-hour expirations, half a day. All right, we just bought that on the limit grids. Now, it doesn't mean I can't go into the market and buy right here, and I probably would. I'd be like, yeah, I don't have enough limit orders, so here's where position sizing is the other thing. So position sizing goes along with this incremental entry technique. You see the franticness there? Look how many people scalped out there. You see how vicious that wick is? Now, it doesn't mean you can't go lower. I always think, oh, that's the bottom. It's going to go auction out the top of the day. Not necessarily, right? It doesn't have to come up here now, but it could still come down and take this out. So that's why I had to take the 30 pips to here, because what if this doesn't happen? What if it does go down here? What if it goes down to here? So having deep tickets, sleeper cells down here that are able to scalp to here, right? And a hard stop, soft stop, and all these different stops, right? So it's incremental. Now, the reason why incremental trading is really not being done is because, that I know of, I talked about it, because it's too much work. I mean, too many tickets, right? Somebody said, how many run them tickets? Well, they run themselves. And the other thing is, it's not a strict I'm right and wrong, buy, sell. It's like, oh, buy a little bit, sell a little bit. And then the market's, the depth of market is the market you absorb into your ticket bank, whatever the market's going to plunge in there. And that's the only kind of the only kind of fun is seeing, okay, well, look at, I got to put a denser pack down here. And yeah, they stopped me out of a few, but I actually built more at the bottom without touching it. Never traded the market. I'm talking about pure limit entry is the most passive trading possible. Let's see, passive entry style. Look at that. Do you see how many pips that just made? Did you see that? Comes down here. And look at it, racked up in moments. This is probably news coming out here. So yeah, that's 2 o'clock in the morning. Now we're buying this plunge. Like I said, if it ever comes down here, holy shit, right? So I'm buying that for sure, because it just took out the low of the previous day. So how dense are these tickets? And then when the tickets fill and they cash out, it's a great feeling to look down and go, oh, look at it, I just took off half the position. So I'm already up on the trade. Kind of looking for the swing here, but it's passive in the sense that I didn't pull the trigger. I laid the track, I set the trap. It's killing, a bear with a bear trap instead of a bear gun or bear spray. Enough bear spray, but and then your meat tastes bad. You start tearing up when you eat it. I don't know if we're going to make it down here, but it looks like we're going to take out the low. Oh. Didn't quite do it. Really came close there. I think we are going to do it. So I want to buy just so much down here that it'll be unbelievable, actually. If we do take this out, I'd buy so much down there. But we did take out this little notch. Notice that little square we took out. Big buy there. Nice cash out. It's already got a cash out. So the idea that you're going to buy here, because it's a great setup, you can hold it until it hits here on one ticket. Okay, but you have to take the high probability traders to cash out into the floor of the other session. So I'd be out of that trade. If you're trying to make 70 pips, of course you can hold some of this, but you couldn't hold a giant position. Now you got to have sells up here. Even if you didn't get in down here, just sell up here. Scalp something back to here, and you make 20 pips there. Now, you have to be kind of a hustler. And, of course, there are the people that make money trading. And so trading consistency, they talk about be a consistent trader. Well, you can't be a consistent trader if you trade 5 trades a year. I mean, how can you? So here you can be a consistent trader because you can trade all these tickets. And maybe you lose 40% of the time, 30% of the time, but your ratios are good, so you're making money. Yeah, you can stop out of some of this stuff. But And you can put more precise tickets in. Certainly, the bigger, fatter the ticket at the very edge of the market. Yeah, I saw a guy do this on FO. This is 15 years ago on FO. Oh, the forex broker, the first one in the country here, FXCM. Guy had a video, 3-minute video. I'll never forget it. Because you do a 12-hour chart. They had a cool platform. You could say, give me a 12-hour, 6-hour chart. 12-hour chart, and look at the candles. I'm going, these are literally up 12 hours, down 12 hours. I looked at it and I go, do I have a trade plan for that? And I'm not willing to sell at the top after 12 hours and buy at the bottom after 12 hours. I'm just not willing to do that. It just seems like too stupid simple. And this is what he was teaching. He said, well, what you're going to do is put a buy limit. He literally said, you put a buy limit like right down here. Or he was saying, put a sell limit right here at resistance. That sounds so stupid easy. Yeah, I know this one just made like 70 pips, and then this one just made like 40 pips. And now we sold this, and we just made 30 pips. And now we're going to buy down here. We're going to buy down here. You see how the market people say, well, they're just keep coming after my stops. And if it does take this out, it's going to be hell to pay. Now it could actually drip down into there, but it's really a contest. Don't forget, if you're short from here, you got to think, well, where should I take profits? So it's just as bad for the person that's in the trade, right? And how'd you ride the whole thing? The most amount of money that I ever make is when I just say, you know what, the ride's over. Like, if I sold here and I got out here, I'd be like, let's get out. Because there's a guy that put a bunch of buy limits down here. He just made 20. He's looking to come back to here now. And this thing can just go into just complete, and people would call it noise if you're on the daily chart, but it's money. It's obvious money. It's clearly, and you can see how dark that wick is. See how much trading is done at these breakouts that fail? Those order blocks, son. See this drama here? Ding, 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 ding. Oh, dude. That's going to rip balls. And look at this drama. People getting out, people getting in. Holy shit, what the fuck? One last, you got trapped. Oh, sorry to be you. Now I'm buying like a whore down here. And I knew I would. I said I would. It's obvious to fucking buy. You don't need a weekly chart. This guy, ICT. Lecture number 5. I'm your mentor. I'm here to tutor you. I'm going to groom you. Yes, you'll be downloading a bunch of photos that are inappropriate. Oh, don't you worry. Did you pay the membership fee? Okay, I'm going to be entering the porn contest. So the hedgehog died, so I think I'm going to look at the buying down here. Look at the buy down here. Now, do you really need a PH fucking D to trade this? Those trading books, I wish I'd burn them. I spent too much on them. Oh, gee, I wonder why this is like bison. This is supply, big supply down here. Smart money. Oh, that's a smart money trade. Dude, I've been running this thing for 10 days here. I call out every fucking trade. This ICT guy is the biggest phony. He couldn't take he's sitting there, I'm a sniper. Is he a sniper, fucks? Yeah, I guess you could do that. Yeah, go be a sniper, dude. I'm fucking too tired. I couldn't do it. I'm a sniper. Is you? Is you a sniper, son? Yeah, you want to see me? I got a sniper's mouse. I get it. You could trade big like that. You could. You could be like, you know what? I'm just going to fucking sit here and pull it. I'm going to wait till it comes into my window. This Fibonacci down. Is this Fibonacci? Probably not. This is called the low. This 30-minute chart's nice. Nice pace. Yeah, what are you going to do here? So, I'm going to, I don't know if we're ever coming down. This has a feeling like we're just going to keep ripping north. But, like I said, I'm willing to scalp it on these 10 to 20 pip drops. Here comes Asia's open now. I mean, London just opened. We'll do it all over again. we put the sell limits up here. Right, everything above this, sell, sell, sell. And I'm going to put the buy limits, big tickets down here. So that's martingale. And light tickets here. Sell here. Big fat tickets here. Right? Like fatter than fat up here. And the fattest tickets, can you guess where they go? Holy shit. This high. Now, look at the bookends on that. How they just keep ripping it down to the ultimate low, rip it up to the ultimate high. And no nonsense says, I don't trade reversals. Why not? Because you can't see what a reversal is. You can't see bottom tick Bobby and top tick Tommy. You really can't see that. Well, yeah, I went to school. I'm gonna be like all these fucknut. Who are these economists that were wrong about Trump pulling the levers on the economy, redirecting funds? Oh, he's just gonna, yeah, because the stuff you do is so fucking ass backwards that nobody, I mean, you gotta be kidding, dude. Life's a MacGyver fucking test. Look at the cells there. I'm gonna run my 15-minute and 30-minute 1 hour buy limits now. Look at this drama. Look at all those, look at all that wickage. Uppity, up, 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 and we sold into that, and we're cashing out, and hello, thank you very much for coming. Thank you for playing. But I think, oh, it's going to go up now. Now I do think it's going to go up into here. But look at how much money we just made, fucking 40 pips coming. Oh, it's a fake. Oh, it just, oh, sorry. That was news, probably. That could have been FOMC, because look where that's at. It's like later on in the day. That's probably, that's FOMC. Look at that. I trade the news like that's what I trade is the news usually like this. I'd be like, oh yeah, come on. Fill that rack. Fill it down here. Come on. I'm short. Just made 40 pips. Now I want to sell more. So I'll come in, refresh, rinse and repeat. Now I want to buy more. I want to sell more. But I gotta have those. I gotta have all the targets set. I want to get out of the market. In a swing trade, I would have to be willing to really go into a drawdown to make it all back and then some. Now that's a different trade because very wide stops. But if you're scalping, you would have just scalped this drama wick here from the news. And look how this is coming up on just it's gonna sell more when they open up Europe here. Let's sell it. They're gonna sell it down into the stock market opening. Okay, you're up 20. You're up 20 pips on that sell on the top tick Tommy. Now I'm going to start buying on limits, and they're going to be like half hour, 1 hour. So we're buying this plunge now because I do believe we're going to keep going up. It just has that look to it, like it's just hell bent on hitting that window up there. All right, so we're scalping to the floor of Asia on some of these tickets, right? And hold for the possible engulfment. And stocks are going to open here. I think we're going to rip a little bit higher, but then again, so I'm cashing out of everything I bought on that plunge, and now I'm going to put buy limits here. This is the new really ripe area. Let's buy more here. Stocks have not opened yet. Buy, 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 and I think they're going to rip it out the top. Filled on limits. Here comes stocks are open. You're into the floor. Now let's just blow out the top of the day. Let's just go make everybody's dream come true. At least the bulls. We scalped anyways, though. Even if that doesn't happen, see how I've already made my 20, 30, 40 pips or 10, 28 pips. Just cash out. And we are prepared to buy more, right? Still holding some of the swing tickets. So some of these have 40 pip stops. Some have 50 pip stops. Some have 18 pip stops. So it's a whole spectrum of incremental trading. You're never totally right or wrong, and you're never loading the wagon unnecessarily. It auto loads, right? Here we just bought more, right? See how that went down and just took out. This is the beginning of Asia, right when the market closed. This is a typical pattern. It comes all the way back to the starting gate. And now we're long, and we're still holding the swing trades. We are looking to take out. Well, we're looking to come into the floor now. This is kind of a big breakdown. So this is our new target. I want to be out by 5 p.m. I want to go flat. then come back in with tickets. All right, so we made ourselves 30, 20, 40 pips there maybe. The 10 pip grid and the 3 sessions. Okay, maybe we make it back to here now and beyond this floor. And 10 pips more in, I probably cash the whole thing out. And as soon as I get out of my longs, I put buy limits back in and start all over again. I'm on the fastest playback. All right, so there's that. The computer can't handle the. I just had the factory video card in here, so I can't. All right, so we're buying again. Buying on limits, trying to buy the pullback into. Let me delete some of these objects. I kind of got a little carried away, didn't I? Oh wait, that's wrong. Here, I got to reload the template now. Please hold your call. Is very important to us. Okay, that was they opened up Europe. Now wait for U.S. markets to open. I'm going to buy the fake breakout of Europe. So I'm buying everything down here, and I just bought all that. I bought the load. Now wait for stocks to open. Bought all this again. Almost the same trade. They'll bid it. A lot of times they bid that thing down till 9 p.m. Pretty hard. That euro gets pretty beat to shit there. So that's a great buy window for me always when I see that. And we just made 20 pips. It looks like it's going to go down again. So I still have unfilled tickets down here that I'm waiting to get filled. But nice. Okay, so we cashed out. We made those pips. Now, buy limits again because no, this could be a Friday. I'm not sure what day of the week this is. I'm not looking at that, but okay, that was a good trade. So that trade's over. It's kind of just waffling here, so there's really nothing left on that one. We have to wait for the market to go sideways for a lot longer now. And the next week comes. Let me zoom out to get the big picture here. So you see how we really haven't gone anywhere. It's complete nonsense. It's people call that noise. A zoomed out half-hour chart looking back about 20 days here. And of course, this is when people decide to put a moving average on there. Oh, I'll just put a 20 EMA on there so I can see the trend. Well, I mean, meanwhile, people are trading around you on pure price. I know they got these fancy terms, price discovery and all these, liquidity and all these things. I think price action probably does describe it the best. It's up and down action, and people are making money from it. So, but navigating it, that's why they have the navigator in here. So I do think we're ultimately going to take out this high. So see how if you would have bought like really hairy amounts here, that was a great trade. Buying that lonely wick here, you are up like, oof. Now, top tick Tommy, the sellers are making money. I want to buy here. But see that? You could just scalp that. You got to scalp and get out because you know what? I do think we're taking this shit out and it's going to be a hairy moment one day. But until then, until these big targets and all these big Fibonacci targets extensions people have. But I bought all that garbage. Tony Plummer with his Fibonacci extensions on the British gilt edge, their bond market, the gilt. I guess it is guilty to be in debt. But it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. It's all theoretical. And I really didn't even. I knew they were liberal people back then, but they're involved in finance. These are airhead motherfuckers that are eating their own shit and thinking that they're onto some holistic diet. It's complete garbage. this is all you need to know. Look how this guy's up. How many pips from trading a reversal? No nonsense. We scientifically determined that the food pyramid. Right. Okay, I see what you're saying now. Makes total sense. And 6 feet apart, please. See that wick? I look at that and I go, wow, somebody just cashed out. And I'm a heavy buyer here. I'm already long because I bought everything below here. Now I'm waiting to get paid to here. May not happen. And I would just buy more down here. And just a lot here. So if I didn't take my 20 pips, and you got to have those 20 pip winners in there, unfortunately, it just seems like, really? I'm going to make like 8 pips on that trade? Well, it's better than... So you would have made 10 pips here, and I just bought more. I still have to make my 10 pips, and here I buy more. I'd have to make 10 pips, but we're getting filled on more tickets. The position's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and now we're going to buy so much here, and stocks are about to open, and we could go the other way and take out the low and keep tanking. It's both things are possible. When we get to the edge of the market like this, to the edge of the abyss, the Pike doesn't think it exists. Here's the abyss. I'm scalping these 20 pips as we come near the abyss. Definitely, seriously, we could just crush into that. And this has been going on for this big giant zone here, which is very scary, and the big buyers start down there. But I'd be willing to get in here and then get in really fat down there if it happens. But right now I'm long because I think that is the top. Inside the bottom, although we kind of overshot a little bit, but see this top here? But now this is a big floor. This is a problem. It's also creating quite a bit of pressure, but it's kind of dicey. Okay, I'm getting ready to cash out because we're coming back to Asia where I bought everything below Asia, and the rule is I have to take off either all the position or half at least there. So I got out. Now I'm sitting waiting. I do want to see it go up, and the swing part of that. All right, so I scalped to the floor for the scalps, and the targets that are 20, 30, 40 pips, had to buy again. So we had to buy again on that. And if we take out the low now, I would buy a lot more because look how it's failing to take this out. But that was great. In other words, it's satisfied that zone, cleared out that price, crushed into those fresh prices, and it looks like right to the edge again. So once again, buying that fake breakout of Asia. So that's all I'm doing. I'm buying this thing. I bought because it took out this Asia, right? So the big swing trades got filled here, and when it just nicked that again, and now I'm cashing out of everything as soon as we get to here. I'd probably go flat on that because I would, and you got to be, of course, this is a half-hour chart, playing it back very fast. Maybe holding some of that still, but no, I want to just go flat and start getting buy limits. So now the buy limits come back in all over again, and yeah, that's how it is for me. I don't want to hold these things through days and weeks and stuff like that, and yeah, just stop me out. We start over, whatever have you. And look at that wick there. The drama here is you come up and retest. All right, that's it. So the market's closed now. So that's totally done. Now we're waiting for whatever. Like I said, it all starts the next session. We're looking to get in at these. So I'm trading against the breakout traders on my limit entry. I'm not trading goober breakouts. Not that it doesn't make money, right? Everybody knows you can go over here and go, well, yeah, but if you put a buy stop here and a sell stop here, you got filled on the short side. Look how many pips you made. Yeah, great. You still got to get out. So if you're getting out, it should be the place to get in, to here. And I remember the no-nonsense goober said, well, just because, yeah, obviously, if you're getting out you're saying I should go. Now here it is crushing down. It is now. Now I got enough money to I can actually trade this. This psycho. We know we're probably going to test this abyss. So here we go into the abyss, right? We're dipping into it now. And it's in your obsession. We're into the abyss. Now it could just really crush down all the way until 9 o'clock when stocks open now. If you've ever seen this, right? So we know where the abyss. Look at left. We can look left. We can see as we come into this colored zone. And we're waiting. This is going to be. That's about 6 a.m. there. So I'm going to scalp my 10 to 20 pips to the floor of the previous day. Okay, we scalped out of something there. Tight targets, scalps. Big tickets, tight targets. Tight stops. All right. Another cash out. Stocks are about to open. Now I do think we could rip down, or it's going to go all the way up and take out. It's crazy, right? As it dips into these big, deep lows. I mean, it goes way back, right? That goes back weeks. But I think we're going to crush down. So it's a lot of fun buying into this plunge. Now here's where I set up a lot of grids. Martingale in really deep at the bottom here, but it may just fizzle out. It may not be anything. And okay, stocks are open now. Here's the big moment of truth. Are we going to keep plunging? So if we keep plunging all day, it'll be a giant accumulation for a swing, and I'll sit in that swing trade and think, I'm a swing trader now. The market's telling me what kind of trader to be, in a sense, letting me know. Oh, it's too volatile to trade on a swing. You'd probably get destroyed. You might as well scalp it. Or it's very quiet. Let's wait for it to crush into a new low. All right, so that kind of fizzled. Are we trapped under the floor going into the abyss now as the market closes out? Now here comes Asia. We want to make... So somebody cashed out of everything there. Well, we did on that one. Now we want to come up to here and take the whole thing off the table into the floor again. High probability first target. And possible keep going up after that, but we definitely got to get out right here in about 10 more pips up. Get the fuck out. Because I want to put buy limits in. I already put buy limits in again. I think we are going to go challenge this abyss. And that's going to be very exciting. Okay, we just took out the low by previous day by just like half a pip now. There'd be a lot of wicks, a lot of big wicks on this thing if it crushes down in. So I got scripts that run real deep. I would just double click them all, 4 hours, 80 pips deep. They're really designed for the yen. This is euro. The yen can drop 300 pips in like 15 minutes, so this is nothing. There's always a slow kind of drip down into this abyss. So this is my favorite trade, I think, of all time. Okay, U.S. market's just open. We're buying more. Probably buying at the market now. And I'm going to scalp it to the low of the previous day. No, getting more fills. I just love it. You know, I'll be in a big fucking, like $1 million position here. Yeah, big tickets here. So real martingale into that. All day down, 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 down. And people are just really amazed. They can't figure out where that's coming from. But if you look left, you see. And this is like really hard to come after this. So we're in this big, oh my God. I guess this is what the ICT fuck calls turtle soup. So we're gonna make a whole meal out of this. So I think you can see my first target is gonna be here. Right. Now I'm thinking we're going to do it a little bit lower. There's so much momentum in that. We take out the low of the previous day just by about a few pips here. Now I'm starting to buy at the market. If I didn't have enough limits filled, I'm like, oh yeah, we got to buy some there. More limits, closer to the market, very dense now. So I'm always regulating the size. These are just, hundreds of tickets, 500 tickets. 600 tickets, 800 tickets. Here, probably about 800 tickets I'm running here. So they're probably a $1 million position now. 2-3Ks. So you have to, when you're in this big though, you got to have those. I want to get to, I'm only in $1 million position. If I'm $1.5 million, I want to take off 500K, 250K right now. Those are the big ones because I'm martingale in. The ultimate target, or the first target, like once again, is always going to be here. It's a structural thing. It's pretty simple. Haven't hit it yet. But here, we've made 40 pips off the bottom. So I've cashed out of a lot. Now, if I really think, well, this is a balancing act. How big do I want to be? And so here I'll probably come in with buy limits again to try to pick up, build this position, which I think is in the long run, in the big picture, a giant trap into this abyss. And we're looking to make ultimately 50 to 150 pips on the swings. And of course, this is one you have to go into a 3-day trade now. So you could have sold here at the breakout, cashed out, and made your money be out of the trade. Right? You could be that guy and go, yeah, I knew it was going to break down. Let's scalp into the abyss, cash out because we don't want to ride the retracement and the short squeeze and whatever. Let's get out. So which guy are you? This is all. The other thing is that trying to become the other guy may be more difficult. Trying to become the guy that's like, oh, you know what? This guy, what he's doing makes money. I think this is what the guy emailed me and asked me if I was still there. There's no way that anybody can trade like anybody else that makes them feel comfortable. How you grew up, and of course, always the big disadvantage is that this is not like driving a car and having a rear camera. If I just had more rear cameras, I wouldn't run over little kids when I back out of the driveway. No, you probably have to still fucking check. It actually says on the camera, still fucking check. So the leaning on technology and all this stuff, the AI bullshit, what a fucking crock of shit. I fired AI so hard. I'm surprised it didn't send me some kind of like, you sure you don't want to come back? Look at that. See that? Look at the big cash out there. Look at that. Right to the floor. Right dead nuts on it. But then I come back at the buy limits because I'm like, oh, dude, I still love this. To me, this is the easiest trade in the world because I'm like, oh, I feel safe putting just a truckload of buy limits in there now. Imagine you're still holding some of the swing trades, right? I mean, let's not forget, this is the bottom. This is the last known bottom. Anything in here, people are like, oh, this is going to be a retest, double bottom. But the whole framework, and it's so funny because Empowered Trading said, we're not selling trading, we're selling education. Well, yeah, I guess people love it, right? It makes them feel empowered, inspiring. Oh, that was a tip. But every time that I ask myself after spending all the money on trading experts and all these things, that I'm like, can I ever picture myself doing these trades? And I said no. And that's when I realized, well, I just combined the concepts. I really did take the he's probably still alive, this Dr. Van Tharp. He's trading huge piles of money, and look at this, we're buying more here. His thing about trading is trading psychology, and that really it's just a law of averages. If you do these many trades, winner, some are losers. It's the position sizing that matters. So being right or wrong is such a problem people think they can solve by just learning more, knowing more. I think it comes to, are you going to be a sniper that trades for the 5-minute window after 9:30 when stocks open and go, yep, I just made my whatever $500. Look, we're buying more here. And or do you want to be in the market for a year in some trade that's actually up, like it's up 40 grand, and you're like, yeah, my target is like 60 grand on this, I'm ready to get out. So it's the temperament of how much pressure you can handle, or is that a number that's just too outlandish? Like, I can't believe I'm fucking in this trade. Yeah, based on an hourly job that's making X amount of dollars an hour, sure, it is fucking just not even. Your brain really can't take it. It's kind of like being overnight famous for playing. You wrote some song that became a hit, and you're like, yeah, I don't know, just an idea I had. I'm not really a songwriter. Yeah, well, you're famous now, and now we're making money on that trade. See how we bought down there? Is it really that hard to buy low, sell high? Yeah, because you're like, dude, I'm buying and it keeps going down. Now, we just scalped out of that. See how that happened again? So here was the first scalp out. If you missed it, right? I don't know if you've seen this pattern, but you come down, and then when Europe opens, people cash out. And you come down here, and Asia, so you bought into Europe's plunge. I'm sorry, U.S. market, you bought this plunge, and you cashed out into this. And now I'd be buying again, right? Buy, 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 buy. So it's easy for me because I have so many tickets that I don't feel the pressure of having to be right about any one of these trades. I made it easy for me to accept a sloppy trade. Like I said, it's like dating 100 women and hoping, hoping if one of them can tolerate you being around, so you marry her or something. Look at this thing plunge. My God. Right, so a big buying opportunity here. Always scalping. But look how it's coming into the abyss. Oh, here we go. Wow. See how violent that is? Why? Why so violent? Probably taking out lows from God knows when here. And that's Europe. Look at that. I bought that whole thing. And here comes the U.S. market open. Oh my God, I'm buying at the market now. So you see my cash out was up here. This total counter trend trading reversals. Cash out there, bought there, cashed out there. Now we have to cash out here. That's the cash out. And I'm Art Gelling in. So big tickets down here. Bought more when it took out this 9 o'clock. Oh my God, U.S. markets it probably has so much momentum. It'll probably go down lower when U.S. markets close, and when you open up Asia, we'll probably be going a little bit lower, maybe. I don't know about that, but like I said, that's almost a typical on that vicious momentum. But we are in the giant vacuum, and we've satisfied all those. Suppose we've hunted all the stops. So yeah, look at a little bit lower, maybe 10 pips here. Just nick it. So you just nick it and now rip up. Let's cash out to here. Call it a day. And like I said, my mind has targets way above this. And but we got to do what's going on here. If we're gonna do structure bounces like this, this is how it is. I make my money I want to make my money in 8 hours or 12 hours, whatever this is. Here would be 12 hours or something, half a day. Okay, cashing out of some stuff here just automatically. And then I'm going to pull the trigger on like probably everything here. Dump, and then wait for U.S. markets to open. Or we wait for U.S. markets to open. When this thing gets to here, we're at the borderline. And we're coming up on the floor of Asia. I'm definitely dumping the whole thing. And now we just come back in. Really, now I start to trade very close to the market, very big now. Okay, just cashed out. Because we just hit our target. And the sellers are there. I'm not the guy to sell there. But look, you just made 20 pips selling off the ricochet off the floor, didn't you? Are we not seeing that? I really need ICT for this shit. We could buy here. Starting gate. Buy here. Buy here. If you did sell that, gotta get out too, right? The buyer's here. Still holding. Anywhere in time. Start me anywhere in time. I'll tell you my fucking trade. I just don't see why this guy. He has to keep a secret. Gotta sign up for the next mentorship. Lecture number 528. How to brag about my life. I'm so smart. I know the algorithm. They threw me in a white van. I am so fucking smart. I figured out the algorithm. Did I say algorithm? It's rigged. And then he says on the video, he's so full of shit. He goes, yeah, until somebody comes in and messes up the market. I remember when Power Trading that said that. Yeah, we had all our lines drawn, and some fucking, oh my God, some central bank came in and pulled the lever on a trade and just wiped out all our fucking patterns and structure. Yeah, really. Amazing. It's over the counter, you dumb shit. I mean, NASDAQ, I haven't heard about trading curves in a long time, and that market's all over the place. What happened to trading curves? Did they just say, you know what? Whatever happens, you're good. Don't whine to us about it. Don't sue the exchange because you're a fucking idiot. That was the last. This is another one. Look at overshot into fair value a little bit here. Cashed out. Okay, now buy limits. Sells here. Here's that stair step. Big selling opportunities up here to play the counter trade back to the thing. Anyways, you understand what I'm saying. Yeah, I gotta go. I gotta watch a movie, and yeah, I gotta work on my. So I'm doing sound production now. Yeah, I'm in a band, and our drummer died, so I thought, well, I'll play drums, How hard can it be? I do, actually. I'm a little bit, I'm not Vinny Caliuto, so I'm not able to really keep up with, like, Jeff Beck and people. So I can just play, like, I guess a bad version of Ringo. And just very simple, not drum fills, but just kind of texture, effects. So I got a beatbox. I got a digital drums or digital percussion, digital rhythm sections. Very beautiful. It's so funny because I'm old. I'm like, what am I, 67, 68. I really wanted to, I like organic stuff. Yeah. And give me that organic salad. Give me that stuff that's just, natural sounding, raw, a Hammond organ that's got a little noise in it. But now, everybody's, it's electronic. And I was kind of against it until I bought a synth. I guess I was actually for it, didn't know it. I was for it before I was against it. But, that really is, Oberheim, give me an Oberheim. Back in the day, 24 dB oscillators and that thing. Fattest tone in the world. I mean, just lush, fat. And people sample that, and people want that. But you can create that digitally now. And I've always been like anti-digital stuff, but who cares, right? You can sit there and cut something direct to disc to vinyl, like that band did it. I can't remember the band, but they went direct to disc. Sounds fucking amazing to this day. And people went back to doing that, but this is all boutique shit. And supposedly everybody's starving in the world, and you're picking fly shit out of pepper with, oh wait, we should use metal tape instead of chrome tape on that cassette. It does sound better. Yeah, but people are starving over there. Send them a check. Haji's got flies on his head. So I understand. But everybody does want to drill down to minutia. Nice thing about the trading thing is open to everybody. You don't need a lot of gear. You just need a lot of mental framing so that, I guess, if you train in the simulator here, you say, oh, I can accept that because I know what's probably going to happen. I have a trade plan for that, but I decided to make the trade plan kind of in other words, a range of entry instead of a precise Fibonacci entry. That's why I'm against Fibonacci, because what they're saying is that, when you get to 618, you're at this price level, and people would call out so funny on whatever discords. They go down to the 10th of a pip and say, the fifth decimal, go, yeah, I think this is the entry here. Man, I mean, I'm thinking the next 40 pips I'm buying. I mean, who really micromanages something like that? Like if you're a real estate developer and you're going to buy 500 acres, or you're like, well, look at this, dude, just give me a fucking thing. Yeah, we know we're going to lose about 100 acres of some bullshit because it's like wetlands or something. Everybody knows that, right? Look at that buy there. Oh, so that's my trade. Every time I saw that, I go, yeah, I know my trade now. We just put limits in here and just walk away. Set it and forget it, I think they call it. But it has to have those early exits. And look, it was still going after the abyss after all that. She's still not done tanking. Look at that. Oh. But you had to cash out here. If you miss this cash out, well, that's on you. And I know this guy that's emailing me, his problem is you have to dump the whole thing here and go, yeah, it's not going here. We have to dump the whole thing. And if we buy this, we got to dump the whole thing into that. And if we buy below here, we got to dump the whole thing into where we started buying. That's for the limit entries. This is in which I think that's what he's trying to do. The same guy. Anybody that's trying to do that. You're saying, oh, buy low, sell high. Yeah, but how low? I don't know. Just there's no Fibonacci in the fucking world for me. I looked at that and I thought, really? And the thing that was so funny that the guy that wanted to sue me, this Carney fuck with his what's it called? It's like it's the Fibonacci taken to the 3D glory hole version, or I guess you shouldn't say glory. You should say what is that? The Holy Grail. Yeah, it's the fact that you have the Gartley pattern, which is this triangle and the bat patterns. That shit is so hilarious. You gotta ask yourself, do you need to be institutionalized? You got a mental. Like I see these people getting pulled over, this dash cam. No, you're not arresting me, but you're in handcuffs. But you can't arrest me. But we did. Like, what? So, you know how it is. I don't have to tell you. Look how we're just teasing the abyss here. I hate to say that, but that's a movie, isn't it? That you got to go to you need XXX movie, Teasing the Abyss. But look at that. All the way back into here. Now I'm waiting to finally get paid on this. Oh my God, the agony. Dr. Smith. The agony. So we did cash out. You see it there? You see, you bought here and you cashed out here. I don't know if you catch that. That's good pips. That's good fucking solid logic trading there, son. Can't go wrong with this bullshit fucking simpleton shit, because I'm telling you what. Subscribe to my newsletter. No, it's so funny. I know people want that, but I tell you, I could never do it. I could never do it. All I can do is complain. I cannot. I don't want to be responsible. Like somebody said, well, yeah, but you said this. Yeah, I know. It's kind of like if you said, what do people used to say? Listen to your heart, or listen to your mind, listen to your body. I don't know. It misspoke to me. Didn't that guy, son of Sam, listen to his dog, tell him to go kill people? Yeah, don't listen to your dog. Not that much. You're listening too much to the dog. I think I just blew up the fucking robot here. I'm not able to zoom out again. Oops. We're stuck in close-up view. I just noticed that the zoom key went bye-bye. But you know me. I'm long here. Okay, cashed out. Look at the auction now. We take out the high now. That's a wrap. Oh, here we go. Just caught up. So all this stuff here, this chatterbox stuff, that's still 20 pips here, but that's the big money. The big plunge is the big money. And the big picture is that we have been in this fucking abyss here for, I'd say that's 150 pips. I don't know. Maybe 120. I can't. That's 10 pip handles. So I'm willing to totally mine this whole area with my limits. Limit mining, I guess you call it. Did you get my limit mining course? Mentorship module number 4, lecture number 95.5, where I describe how amazing, how just amazing I am. I can call it to the pip, and I don't want to get started on my order blocks. Oh my God, what a fucking scam. That guy's beautiful. So we're buying more here, as you can see. as you can see, buy low, sell high works every time. Limits pending out there in time, in space, waiting to get filled. You know the story. You've seen it. Seen it a million times. Yeah, when I backtest these robots, they trade through the news and stuff. The only one that I trust is the one that has the data from the broker that has a fixed spread. Because the news, makes the spread go nuts. What happens in a fixed pip broker situation, the price goes nuts to make up for the spread missing, or the expandable spread. So the bid goes very low. And like I said, we just have to have the patience. The other thing that, I don't have, keep buying this as it plunges in here. I lost my ability to zoom. It's just too much shit running on this program. All right, we're buying into this. As you can see, this is just a really no-brainer trade. All you need is money and patience. And you have to scalp out. Now, unless you're trading for a 300 pip target with a 200 pip stop, this is not the trade for you. A swing trader wouldn't really have a problem with that. And if you have little, like big tickets, real deep, because there are martingales down there, and they're getting filled right now. And those have to scalp out. Look at the meltdown on that. That is just incredible. I can force this thing to let me zoom in. Anyways, you can see we're in about 40 pips below the low of the previous week. Big buys in here. It was very painful to buy into this. And I'm in I'd say really big, about 2 million position here. Stopped out of probably about $1 million. Pretty stubborn. I would trade this. Why can't I get that to? Maybe if I open this up, Navigator again, I'll be able to. Not really. We'll fix the scale. That's the workaround. So we're going to look in the depth of market here. I didn't do this because I don't want to run off the screen, but fixing the scale is the other trick I do, is because I can see the market for what it really is. Right? You see how this would have been, you didn't quite hit your target here. If you bought this plunge, I'm missing the day. Let me delete the objects. Maybe that's going to clean it up. Yeah, that didn't help. But anyways, so we don't know the sessions. I can just see it. I do like that background session framing. Here's a target we need to come back. See this low? You did hit the target, so if you didn't take your 20 pips here, that's why you're destroyed. That's the only way to scalp around the swing, to pick up high probability trades there. Now it just keeps tanking. Here comes the end of the day. I'm heavily in it. I'm underwater. I'm ready to buy more though. So I'm a very stubborn person. I'm going to buy so much below there that people would say, and I got in big fights with people on YouTube about it. This one guy was saying, well, why don't you sell? Can't you see it's going down? I'm like, yeah, I'm not fucking retarded. Not yet. Getting there. Actually, the bliss of being stupid, I think, is another untold bonus of living long. Is that here now we're finally making money now. These are big tickets down here, and I probably traded. This could have been even news here in the beginning of that day. I lost my ability to zoom in and out. But that's okay. We can see easily here that because we fixed the scale, we can see how many pips we're trying to make. So it's all about that target, and the fact that it did drop 1,000 pips. I know that if you're a a big trend trader and you have 500 pip target, 200 pip target, that you're like, I'm hitting my target. Yeah, great. That's great. Wonderful. Glad to hear it. But that's not my trade. And everybody has to find their trade, and it may be your trade, so you're never going to agree with me. Because that may be, look at the robot selling here. Oh my God. So, yeah, it's a preference. Because some people like to be, I was watching in the news feed that we're about to cash out of the structure, our known target. There's sellers here. This bottom should become a top. Big sellers there. Some prank. These people are joking around. Young kids, Guy pulls down this guy's pants and takes a fucking air hose to his anus. Now, listen. I get the fact that he thinks it's like an inverted fart, but some of these air hose pressures running about even 20 pounds of pressure. You might have some damage there, and see why you had to get out there. So this kind of day, when I see this price action, I'm like, oh, it's going to be another fucking another run of limits. I'm running more limits now. Now I'm really fucking, oh God, here I'm like, I got big tickets in here. When I see that, I'm like, yeah, we cashed out. We just keep dipping into this window. This is my favorite. And this is kind of expensive trade. A swing trade, building a swing trade like this, I'm telling you, this is not cheap, but you will make it back and then some. I will. I can't speak. And the thing about, somebody I tell you, they took down one of my videos because I was talking about some guy that was saying he make 400% because my thumbnail said, I was repeating this guy's thumbnail. Oh, well, you can't make 400% in the market. Well, actually, you can in like a blink of an eye. But you could also lose in hours and days. You can lose maybe the same amount if you didn't position size properly. Yeah. So here, big buy. This is probably the biggest, juiciest buy on the planet right here in this 10 pip window. Why? Because how many more fucking days can it go? And I always ask myself that. When I'm in a drawdown where this market's going down, I'm in a swing trade, I'm going, really? You got to be fucking kidding. A lower again? No. So that's when I'm like, dude, we are buying. Like, put a lien on everything. Get a loan. Get a big fat loan because we're going in. Oh, yeah, roll up your sleeves. We're going in. We're going to deliver this fucking baby right here. If it takes this out, oh my God, I'm going to sell my neighbor's car. 30-minute chart. And I'm always amazed. They will take it down here. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. That's the buy that I just did this week on the euro. I'm like, really? I'm down $2,000 on this trade? No. Like I thought, nobody wants this. I always feel bad for the euro. And this is also another thing that you can't fix some of these things. I know people wanted to do it. I tried to do it with, self-talk, No, I'm not an asshole. Yeah, you are. I'm not. Yeah, you are. And it's like you can't, if you think you're an asshole, yeah, probably right, What is it? Oh my God. Even Mark Douglas is talking about this shit. I can't remember it. Anyways, it's like a script you tell yourself. Yeah, keep telling yourself that, son. You're a fucking idiot. So here's the thing. I'm buying if it like I said, if it goes there. I just bought. Oh my God. Like I said, I just mortgaged my house just right there. Oh my God. Oh my God, I just bought more. But if I didn't scalp out of this, it's not a very big trade here. Only 10 pips. See, that's the problem. Only 10 pips on that. Well, that's why the 10 pip target means something. If you bought this, actually you made money there. But if you bought this dip and you only made it there, oh my God, look at this. Just an onslaught. Oh. So easy scalp here. But I'm almost compelled to buy more right now at the market because I'm like, you got to be. And this is what I always say to myself when I see this market. And this is somewhere in time, but I've seen this a million times where the whole week or the next 3 days straight down. What does it look like on the 30-minute chart? Well, this is what it looks like. And you can see how painful. Like when I saw this, I go, really? Come on. When I saw this, I go, you got to be fucking kidding me. This is This is flat earth shit. I say this, and this is just raw dog thinking about market up and down. Who doesn't think that when this thing goes like down here, they like, holy shit, man, I mean, was I right about this thing going down? This is when people say to me, man, you could have been short that whole, really? I don't want to do that trade because I feel like it's short. I'm late to the sell. I don't want to sell into the trap, into the abyss. I don't want to be that guy. I want to be the guy that buys everything below here, all the way down, cash out, cash out, cash out. And if you are buying, every 10 pips it drops, you're going to try 3K, 4K, 5K. Imagine you just laid a grid out here that lasts for fucking a week. Think about how much does this trade cost you? By here you're buying this is a 10K, 11K, 12K. And you don't touch the trade. And you're just going to stick to your guns. I'm going to just make 10 pips on this first 1K. So I'll make a buck. And I'm just going to lay in a grid of tickets. I'm going to sit back, cross my arms, and I'm going to put a fucking 300 pip stop on this shit. I'm risking about 800 bucks. I don't know. I'm just let it play out. I honestly don't care. I'm not even going to refresh. Which you can see here, if I traded really big below that, I would have to cash out. So in other words, I bought heavy below here, and then we top tick Tommied the previous day. I have to dump. Or if I'm not in a big position and I literally traded all the way down, like I said, 1, 2, these are getting bigger by one increment, I'd have to put buy limits down here and buy more. I have to buy more now. I love watching this. This is a classic forex move, a mind-blowing meltdown. It goes on for days. This is a classic example of like, well, what do you do? Now, a trend trader would be like, well, I sell every rally, and you'd be right. Sell every rally. Like I said, that's not what I'm trying to do. I don't want to be. You still got to get out of that trade. Well, I guess you could say, well, I'm going to add to it, add to it, add to it. When are you going to take profits? Oh my God, the buying below here just must be astounding, just like here. So it's astounding buying that causes us to come back all the way. Astounding buying here on this day. At some point, we're going to go like this, and it's going to weasel out. It's going to take running. Now, every slot's a day on here, so I've been buying for 10 days, and I'm always amazed how long and how hard it keeps tanking. I just cannot believe it sometimes. Blows my mind every time. Here, I got the scale fixed so I can really... Wow. Ready to buy more. At this point, I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Now I have to really, really pile into this. Big tickets now. I buy $2 million, $3 million down here easy. Total accumulation. You had to sell there. If you were on the 30 minute, you could have sold this rally into the floor. Trend traders entry. Tops become bottoms become tops. You would have sold this one. This rally you would have sold. and you would have been up, because it's gonna disappear on you. Like, so the trend trader doesn't have it any easier, because if you don't take profits, what the fuck? So it's all about your target. Is your target tight, wide? How big is the size? How often do you trade? Like I said, I really would bet the ranch down here. And now we're looking for that. Oh, I can zoom in now. Thank you very much. Oh, let me put in the template again. Is you really have to accept the punishment here. Okay, that's a little bit easier. And this is, to me, the filter of time. It makes a big difference, because I know that if I went to sleep, I put tickets down here, that once we get cashed in and then we're going to cash out, I don't have to wait for the top tick Tommy. I'd be cashing out, selling that. So for the sellers, it'd be easy to sell on limits into this vacuum. So if the market, if you want to sell that on the way down, I'd say it's better to just trail sell limits, right? To capture here, capture that vacuum. But now, since we've gone down here and made psycho serious lows, right? This is the low of lows. Now the swing traders are hanging on, and the new trend, we're about to break this trend line. It's time to start buying on pullbacks, which I have no problem doing that, because I wrote a lot of buy tickets. So I suppose I have to suffer the sell into. This is the original abyss. Don't forget, it started up here. We're living in the abyss. And the big target for most people, me, would be, oh yeah, the big fat tickets down here. And I'm already cashing out, but that line there is the cash out. Now here you could run tight limits with nice targets. There's a nice, now we're recovering, right? Now we're coming out of it. So that beatdown went on quite a bit of time. And I said that a swing trade is just not for everyone. And it's just not for anyone, because most people just will not buy a house. So you want to flip a house and it goes past 6 months, now you're paying interest on the mortgage, trying to fix up the house. And what's the difference, right? It's a time invested. Look at that plunge. We want to make it to the top of that box. I mean, the big money, the stuff. Now, if you held those monster martingales from the bottom of this, yeah, you probably got to unravel some here. But if you do, I say put buy limits here and buy the pullback, because maybe we're going to go into this mode. It'd be easier for me to do that, but I'd still be getting out. Like, even if you're a seller on this big downtrend. But yeah, I love that trade, because I guess the whole contrarian situation appeals to me. I was at this, so I did try to hook up with some people a long time ago. I went down to the public library for free. I rented it. Well, for $100 I rented it. Like 4-hour block for $150 or something cheap. Couldn't believe it. I had 12 computers in there. I guess a dozen. And I did a presentation about my scripts. And this guy, so we say, hey, we want to go after the thing I did. And people were just baffled, because what was disturbing to them was I wasn't charging any money. I was just curious to see how people would react, and maybe I could find somebody that was like, hey, I'm doing the same thing, or hey, that's great. What are you doing there? So I was looking for a person that wanted to kind of watch the market while I was sleeping. Actually looking for somebody in Europe that would take the European side, and they could babysit it and trade it. Maybe have some PAM account we were running or something. I don't know, these kind of things you think of. But I was just curious to see if people thought, oh my God, never thought of that. Or, are you fucking nuts? And so I got this one guy the only person there that was open-minded was a European guy who was a preacher, and he said he stuck around after it was over, and yeah, it's just he was just said, "Oh, that's you want to listen to what I had to say." And one girl that was there was like two girls there. I was surprised. Now these were leftover stock traders from a big club that had happened. And this guy, I went to this meeting. Okay, so it's kind of funny because the stock traders are very conservative. These are people who are just, well, what's the dividends? Dividends, dude. Look at the price action. So I don't know. They were on a different. They had Investors Business Daily meeting, and this guy's showing the chart, and I said, what is that spike there? I said, what if you would have bought that spike on a limit that you placed like a year ago? He goes, yeah, that'd be a good trade. Like, so people said, why don't you get up on stage and start talking? I said, I don't think so. Like, I don't want to have people go, like, somebody, so we go to the coffee shop, and this guy says to me, you're an iconoclast. And I said, oh, that's probably a good thing. I went home and I looked it up. I didn't know what it meant. Heard it before. Okay. I said, that's exactly what I am. I say, fuck the system. As far as the conventional wisdom goes, I mean, let's face it. If moving averages, look, we're coming back to the trend line here. Look at breakout, come back. This is a setup, actually, right? But you had to dump. See how much you had to dump at that line? Is that not the power line that everybody dumped at? Come on, man. Don't be fucking stupid. Stop with the ICT bullshit. Look how many people dumped there. Oof. I would have to. I'd be like, dude, let's dump the big tickets here now. We're buying limits. So it's the Goldilocks thing. It's a whole series of tickets for me. Oh, here's a setup coming back. Support becomes resistance on a trend line. Trend lines don't work. Look at, yeah, they do. It broke out, come back. Shut the fuck up with your trend lines don't work. You just don't know how to draw them. Oh, look, Fibonacci on this entry, maybe even. I get it. Fibonacci's a pullback. Hasn't taken out any lows. There's a Gartley in here somewhere. Of course. I gotcha. I know it happens. People hallucinate. They see Gartleys. I know. Yeah, well, yeah, I have a Gartley alarm clock. This guy in Britain sent me a Gartley pattern coffee cup. That's so funny. I mean, that really was a time. It's almost like when Napster was around or something. Back in the day. Remember the days of... I sure do remember those days. Look how it's finding support at that. Oh, it's not working out. See? Oh, it's dipped 10 pips lower. Didn't get it quite on that 618. Oh, that's why IC trades a 712. Yeah, everybody's got an answer how to fix that one. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Look at this. A lot of drama here. A lot of wickage. Oh, looks like 618 to me. Here comes U.S. markets are about to open. Wait, I don't even know where I'm on the chart now. No, this is Asia. Okay, here comes. It's 2 o'clock in the morning now. Testing that trend line. I've seen this setup, son. I've got a book on this one. Oh, yeah. We wait for that. We're very consistent traders. I just don't see how you're a consistent trader when you're just trading like... what does that even mean? Look, it's easier to be consistent the more tickets you're trading. Not that you overtrade, but if you break them down into increments, right? So if you break it down in micro lots and nano lots, look at that trend line shit works out. I told you, son. Don't listen to those anti-trend line people. You can do all your analysis here. Are you going to be right? Yeah, you could have traded a fucking $8 million position right there and said, yeah, I'm scalped. I'm good. I'm going home. I just traded the London Open. Yeah, you could do that. I suppose. It's got to fit. Like I said, there's a million things you could fit in your lifestyle, but there's not one way to... I keep trying to change the time frame on that. That's not going to work. I got to put a new template in. I think I fucked up the... yeah, that deletes the objects. Okay, so here we are again. Another situation. What do we do? Let's zoom out. Take the big picture. Top-down view is what I like. Now, yeah, this was the big fulcrum. This is the fair value. This is where everybody goes, you know what? We made it back to here. I'm the fuck out. Bye-bye. See, you wouldn't want to be you. But then, of course, rinse and repeat. Start buying this plunge zone. Oh, another fucking so this vacuum is the fresh one forming behind in the bullish the next bullish run after we broke out, found support trend line, keep going up, and maybe the next 3 days we go up. But I'm fine. I'm really fine with just dump the whole thing here, come in with the buy limits here, and play this noise game again, because we're not going to see one of these for a while. And that's the other thing. I would say the same thing. That's the only thing in real life that kind of lines up to this. The hot chick at the coffee shop. You probably, if she was just like, if you see out of town plate, you probably never see her again. Isn't it funny how, is it just me, but like, you go to another town, well, the wealthier people look better. Sorry to say, I mean, able to brush their teeth or something. I don't know what it is over there, but you're like, wow, this town, these fucking hot women. If you go up in Canada, I don't know what it's about Canada, but the fresh air, but the women look so hot, almost as good as European women, to the sense of the kind of a, I guess people like something that's different. So, but you know, they just look healthy. There must be fresh air up there. Well kept, well bathed. Maybe they could make good soap up in Canada. You know, plus there a lot of time are the blankets. You know, not a lot of sun damage. Maybe that's the other thing. You know how much, you know, right? Eskimos aren't as hot as Canadian girls though, so maybe that's too far, right? That's a bridge too far. All right, so that's the end of that. Now, you know, now it's just boring, right? A few pips here, a few pips there. We go back to the normal status. Not a lot of great trades here. You have to refix the scale. That's the one thing that doesn't, the template will not. Now we can have a nice session view here. So just move this object out of the way. New buy zone down here. And like if you're in for the short targets, right, you just want to make a few pips. Well, where are you going to sell? Top tick Tommy at 2 a.m. You made how many pips? Like, I'm not making this up. This is good. Look at, you buy down here, bottom tick Bobby. How many pips? Buy the fake breakout of U.S. Asia. How many pips? 40 pips? Get out. Start selling the here. Start selling above here. Right. Maybe you're still holding from down here. You are up a fucking 60 pips. You scalp out. This is where the sellers are. You got to get out. 9 o'clock. We come in, we buy more. So the rinse and repeat, this is like, said a million times, you know, what I'm doing is I'm selling used cars. Lots of them. Some are really a deal. This one at auction, great fucking trade. We bought the whole fleet. So we bought the whole fleet on some of these. We're going to try to flip these cars on whatever. Facebook, I guess. I don't know. Probably the best way to go, right? Yeah, but so you flip all this stuff. And, you know, what's next? What's next? If you sold up there, I hope you bought it back because we could go up again. And I can just get my brain around this 2 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning. These trade blocks, time blocks, filtered out. The market's noisy. 80% of the market's sideways. Can you make money? Can you make money from a choppy market? Yeah, just do the trap trade. Don't need any special skill there. I think the robot tried to do it. Let's see how the robot's doing. It's probably making money. It does run a trailing stop. Oh, it's actually, look at that. It's kind of, it's almost back. Start with 10 grand, kind of weaseling back. That's your typical robot, isn't it? Treading water. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Are we making a lot of money or what? Here we go. Rally in Europe. Waiting for the stocks to open. Get ready to cash out. Possibly sell it up here. Yeah, this robot's really screaming, isn't it? Oh, stuck with the robot here. Look at that. Selling into this now again. Look at the big picture. We're back to that table, the big fulcrum. Now we could probably bust through, right? If you're still holding all that position now, you're like, oh yeah. But like I said, you could have bought this retest right here. Comes back in, does not take this out. So everybody cashed out here, comes back in. There's a couple bounces here, nice money. Hold it to here, but then the sellers again. Here's the wedge. We're going to sell like crazy here to come back to here. So it's a really monotonous, but if you have your 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 pip targets in the scripts predetermined here, so if I double click on a buy, it's all in the script. Humans, I think, can outperform the robot because you can look at the market and go, oh yeah, oof, I can see it. And so here are my targets, 16 to make 30. These are 1Ks, here's a 5K. Now this 5K is risking 35 to make 22, but when the market's frantic like that, I'll click the shit out of that. What I thought about doing was, although I didn't want to get too complicated, was make this script so when I buy a 5K at the market, and I can turn these on. So if I take off these double hash marks, I could turn on this script and make this do limits underneath. 3 pips to 6.5 pips beneath to pick up on limit because it probably will go lower. So I really should have probably buy at the market and a 2 tickets beneath. So I buy a 2K at the market with another 2Ks beneath. So we're going to get filled. That's a set it and forget it in a way because I want to buy one at the market because I'm like, oh, this thing's screaming down. But I'm not going to bet 2% of my account or 1% of my account or 0.5% of my account. I'm going to risk 0.0001% of my account on a market order because I know it's going to go lower. I'm only buying that to build maybe a swing trade. You know, how tight's the stop on that? Pretty tight. Well, it's 22 pips here. I'm sorry, it's 35 pips here. And then, oh, I wonder whether that was whited out. Yeah, I kind of wrote on the screen. I'm like, wow, the computer's losing its. So the pending's just beneath it, and a buy stop above. So this is kind of a, you know what? I don't know what's going to happen. I want to buy in here, and it does. I only put one buy stop in because I'm like, oof, I cringe about that. So what's happening now? Look how we bounced off that trend line. I told you it worked. So here now we've satisfied that. The big sellers are up here. You didn't need a moving average for this one. Oh, what an easy trade to make fucking 10, 20 pips here. So I don't know how long that's going to last, but like I said, I'll buy here now. Big trade banks in here. Big pendings all interlaced with different targets. But like I said, if I bought at the market right now and had 2 buy limit pendings in that, thinking, oh, that's a nice plunge. Well, maybe I did scalp out here, right? Bam, look at that. Okay, that was it. That's why you want to have buy limits in here because are you going to be able to trade big enough at the market? That's the other reason why I'm going to run limits and markets because am I going to have enough? Am I going to be awake for that? By the way, okay? That's fucking like 6 in the morning here. Now, I'm thinking about making, so I can make more than one time frame on here. I had AI make me one of these. Look at this. This is a beautiful scalp. Then we buy more here, right? On limits. And this was the into the floor exit. You didn't make a lot of pips. Not these things are not always a lot of pips, you know. I'm just saying. Everybody knows that, right? Uh-oh. So here, that's only 10 pips. Look at the franticness here. But then I'm a big buyer here. Big ass buyer down here, but this is easy peasy all day here. All day. Bye. Yeah, give me some of that. And then I'm looking for it to bounce. It's a scalp. And target's got to be here, right? Not a lot of pips. But you got to trade big on that. Got to trade heavy on that. Got to be in a standard lot at least. So maybe there's a 20, 40K filled below the floor here. Pending's just sitting ready to cash out for the early targets. And then maybe it does engulf and takes out the high. And there it goes. Keeps going. So, look at that. Big buy here. First scalp. Buy more below here. Stuck under the floor. Rips back. Cash out. Here comes the stock market. Comes the stock market. And by the time this box was, this is all Europe. Big cash out. Great scalp off. Top tick Tommy. You're up 10 pips, 20 pips. Just that's how it is. I mean, it's literally just these zones, and I don't understand why it hasn't come apparent to. I guess it would just. Why have a mentorship if this is all you need is just to see this? It kind of blows the same thing in universities, you know. They just spoon feed you this shit over 4 years. Dude, you could tell me what I needed to know in about 6 months. But it's like, well, turn to page 98. But today we're going to talk about nonsense. It doesn't have any practical use in the real world. If you're from MacGyver land, get the fuck out of here, because we're going to go through this textbook. First, you got to understand. You know, I like literature. They call it, I guess, literature. Okay, so they're saying this guy's amazing. Oh, yeah, this guy who committed suicide, what's his name? This Arthur, Moby Dick guy? Hemingway? Blew his brains out, but no, you got to read this guy. Oh, he's a drunk. You got to read this guy. His poetry. It's nonsense. It's fucking nonsense. It's like, oh, yeah, you spit up on the canvas. Yeah, that's my vomit. I call this vomit. Oh, man, that's very brilliant. You're cutting edge. You're bleeding edge. That's fuck. How much is that worth? Oh, yeah, well, I drank some paint, so, you know, when I threw up, you know, you can see. Look at the pigments I chose. You're brilliant. There we go. Going up into the fucking sell zone again. Oh, that's a classic. Look at this. Bottom tick Bobby, Europe. U.S. markets open. Bottom tick Bobby just by 10 pips rip up 60. 40, 60. Taking out the high. It's just a carnival of shit. And look where in the big picture we are. Right? The big kahuna, the big deep pocket that bought all the way below here, everything. How's he feeling now? Yes, he's like, yes, I'm making money, son of a bitch. Finally, you motherfucker. So, hey, people are selling into this. Watch it pull back. Right? Watch it pull back. The scalpers will make 40 pips on this. Maybe it does keep going up. But look at, they're up 20. Right? They're up 20. Nope. Not for long, though. Keep going up. Now, the heavy hitters are cashing out here. There's high drama now. U.S. market's going to open, probably pop, rip back. And that's the target right there. That is the big target that all the heavy hitters are like, yeah, we bought so much down there, dude. We're going to dump that whole thing and we're going to call it quits for the day, whatever. But look at top tick Tommy guys are up fucking 20 pips, 25, 30. Yeah, give me 40 pips on those top tick Tommies here. One last pullback. Breakout, pullback, rip north. And just watch it, dude. Just think about how big you got to trade that. This guy that's emailing me, how many tickets can you put in there? How tight is your target? And how many times what time frame are you going to? Just 30-minute chart to me is golden because it's just the right amount. The news comes out on the half hour, and now I can make these half-hour blocks. So I can make these right to 9:30 and right to 8:30. That's what I should make these blocks to. Right now they're, like I said, 2 a.m. I'm sorry. At 2 a.m., that's going to stay the same. But when that news comes out at 8:30 and the stocks open at 9:30, wow. That window is, well, I mean, I'll make them open. I guess I'm going to do it at 9:30. So at 8:30, you'll just see, oh, well, there's that setup. There's 2 bars before the actual market opens to digest that news. And then when cash market opens and stocks open, now you see maybe that's reversal point. So you're really trying to get that last nick of the wick before we go the other way. Look at these guys that sold up here. How much money did they make already? 40 pips finally? Finally, let that wait for that one. Yeah, so if you sold up here, you held to here. Not bad, right? But for me, buy here, buy low, sell here, sell here, sell here, sell here. This is a good trade. What's wrong with these trades, man? I don't get it. And the candlestick charts, just can't do them, man. Sorry. The line chart to me says us everything I need to know. There's your doji. You want to see a candlestick. Look at you can see the violence. You can see the closing up and down. Look at this. Zigzags. Triangles are perfect. You can see a double, triple top, quadruple top. Just mark off the line. Here's your smoothing of data. Draw the trend lines on the closing prices. Half-hour line chart. Trend line break, pull back, keep going. Sell, sell, sell. We're selling into that now. Look at that's the target. So we close out the video when we hit the target. Everybody's dumping right there. Holy mackerel. Stocks open and you're coming right up into target. Well, look at that. I'll be a monkey's uncle. What does that mean? Do monkeys have fucking uncles now? Is that a new thing? Oh no, but boys can be girls. Right. Let me mark this down. I'm going to need to chisel that into granite. Yeah. Okay, let me zoom out. I want to see the big picture. We take a top-down view of these prices. Look at it blowing through the floor here. Oh, my God. That's how pissed off it is. Next sell window. Next resistance point. But here, I'm selling into this now. I'd be dumping everything I bought down there. So that's what a total recovery, a swing trade, and you can see all the scalps on the way, back and forth. If you're living inside the trap trades on the 8-hour blocks or the 9-hour blocks or whatever have you, that's the world you're making money in. You can see on the swing chart here, and the swing robots that I've written that go in and power trade this thing, and Martingale probably passed what the broker deck is. The problem with the robot is it's putting on maybe 3,000 trades. My broker only allows 600 tickets, so I'm like, eesh, that's kind of... Look at this pullback. Oh my God. See the sellers there? Do you see people cashing out, or is it just me? Why such a heavy reaction? Because look at how it hit target. Look at that window. Holy shit. Now, you could have been the guy with the sells up there going, yeah, if they ever come back here, there's going to be like people getting the fuck out. Right? If that's not the prime, that's the only, so this is my 1-day lecture in mentorship, the whole course in 2 hours and 34 minutes. There you go. Everything you need to know about trading, but afraid to ask. On a 10 pip grid, How fucking hard? Yeah, like I said, it's psychologically, emotionally demanding. Like getting kicked in the nuts. It's a market drops, and you're saying, "May I have another, please?" All right, kick me again. Wow, look at that! Look at that! Look at the drama here. Holy shit! That is a classic. Look at that. And of course, the robots sell dead on right there. That's why right here. We'll just tell the robot to invert its logic. You know what? That's probably a bad idea. But look, it's not me. That's so funny. So that kind of like tells you everything you need to know. Conventional wisdom right there. It's just sold there. Well, maybe it is right. It's just late on the entry. I know my indicators lag a little bit. Look at that high drama shit here. Oh my lord. Whew. My God. Finally hits target. After waiting how many days? Probably 8 days on that. 8 days down, 8 days up. Anyways, I think you know what I'm saying. I would never lie to my unpaid prescribers.